Good afternoon and thanks for joining us today on Nationwide. I am Tessie Justin Bisong. The Buhari support campaign team is gathering momentum as more youths in Kwara State have declared their support for the second-term bid of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. Abdulwahid Bibire reports that a solidarity rally was held in President Muhammadu Buhari's support.
The peaceful solidarity rally began at the main entrance of the main bowl of the Kwara State Stadium Complex en route some street in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. Addressing the mammoth crowd, the Director General of the group, George Towoju, said the rally became imperative in view of President Muhammadu Buhari's track record of achievement, especially the fight against corruption. Part of the reasons for the solidarity rally, he added, is to sensitize members of the public on the need to vote President Muhammadu Buhari come 2019.
We also declare our total support to our able President Muhammadu Buhari re-election bid, and we call on men and women of goodwill and conscience to rally around Mr. President in order to salvage the nation from the current political turbulence.
The group also reaffirmed their support for Alhaji Shuaib Yaman Abdullahi's governorship ambition in Kwara State come 2019. Abdulwahid Bibire, NTA News.
And the Forum of Heads of Federal Government Establishments and Institutions, Ondo State Chapter, has organized a one-day program aimed at sensitizing the people of the state ahead of the 2019 general elections. To this end, the body has evolved traditional rulers in the state towards achieving peaceful elections. Abiola Ariyo completes this report.
Towards ensuring a free, fair and credible 2019 general elections, the forum felt it was time to educate the people of Ondo State in preparation for the election.
We have taken it upon ourselves at the Forum of Heads of Federal Establishment to now begin to introduce our agencies to relevant stakeholders in the state for them to be able to make use of our facilities better than before so that we can add value to the society and enhance good governance.
The Ondo State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Rufus Akeju, while addressing the traditional rulers, said INEC, on its part, is ready to conduct a free and fair election come 2019. But it behoves on the rulers, being the gatekeepers and closest to the grassroots, to educate their subjects on the need to abide by the rules that guide elections.
When you get them, to carry your label them all over to their people. Our case is half won.
The forum provided opportunity for the monarchs to rub minds and ask questions on ways they can contribute meaningfully for a peaceful Nigeria. In Akure, Abiola Ariyo, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating the loss of $21 billion oil revenue has requested the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources to provide it with detailed financial transactions between Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and International Oil Companies, IOC. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali takes it from here.
The committee was set up following resolutions reached at plenary in January and July 2018 that the House should investigate the operations for possible review of the deep offshore and inland basin production sharing contracts between NNPC and IOCs, under which the loss was allegedly recorded.
Towards determining the reasons for the loss of $21 billion inquire why appropriate steps were not taken promptly and over an inordinate long period to remedy the situation, which led to the loss and possible recovery of revenue lost.
Representative Reneju said the committee is also to find out why huge debts are being owed local oil companies by the IOCs over long periods, as well as scrutinize the procedure of acquiring marginal oil fields. The authorities concerned are to submit necessary documents by 17th August 2018 from the National Assembly. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The bill for an act to establish the Maritime Security Agency may have more hurdles to scale beyond second reading at the House of Representatives as major stakeholders withdraw support to the proposed bill. This was at a public hearing organized by the House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
The proposed Maritime Security Agency Establishment Bill seeks to provide security, safety information and communication facilities for all categories of operatives of the Nigerian maritime industry and for related matters. Representative Etam Bora from Cross River State is the sponsor of the bill.
The operation is structured in such a manner that it will have less or non-funding impact on the federal government.
There are countries in the world all over that has administrative functions, they have their navies, and they also have maritime security agency.
While some groups aligned with the provisions of the bill, the Federal Ministry of Transportation and other relevant groups have contrary opinion on the grounds that the new agency, when established, will negate the legitimate functions of already existing agencies such as NIMASA.
Creating another agency similar to NIMASA will create additional financial burden on the federal government.
But we implore this honorable committee to step down further legislative actions on the proposed bill and seek instead to strengthen NIMASA.
More importantly, setting up a new agency will be inimical to the ease of doing business.
The committee also observed that the agency yet to be established by law is already operational.
It's an aberration of the law. It's wrong. You are not military, you are not paramilitary, you have not even been approved by a law. So you don't just come and think that there is a jungle, you just don't know. We can't take that. And that is why we're having issues. Insecurity. You see people with different, you don't even know the kind of uniforms people are using.
The utility uniform has been approved, that is what you are seeing wearing. The India data, the identity has been approved by government, by the federal government, and we have the document, they are all attached to this I'm submitting.
For the interest of peace, would have asked all those that are dressed in uniforms that have not been approved by this parliament to either leave or to be arrested. But we want to make correction. We cannot let things get worse.
Speaker Yakub Dogara, in a message, expressed optimism that the committee will put in perspective concerns raised by the public to enable the House to take appropriate decision on the legislative proposal. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And away from legislative matters, the influx of illegal immigrants into Cross River State occasioned by the crisis in southern Cameroon has become worrisome due to the security challenges it poses to the state. Rising from a security meeting held at the Government House, Calabar, Governor Ben Ayade called on the federal government to assist in addressing the situation, which is currently threatening the peace of the state. Udwak Etim tells us more.
Apart from the humanitarian effort in addressing the increasing needs of the refugees camping in Cross River State, the crisis in southern Cameroon has exposed the state to daunting security challenges. Governor Ayade hinted that Calabar in recent times has become an illegal trading route for immigrants through which contraband are smuggled into the state.
The war going on in Cameroon, it has a direct impact on Cross River State. So federal government needs to come in very urgently and save us from this generational crisis that we're having at hand.
The Nigerian Navy has, however, remained on top of its game with the regular arrest of smuggled goods and suspects along the waterways.
It's the fourth time I'm handing over seized rice coming from Cameroon. And I want to emphasize that we are not going to relent in our effort in ensuring that any smuggled item through our waters that will sabotage the efforts of the federal government, Nigerian Navy, will not sit down and watch it.
As part of its security strategies, the state government said contract for revitalization and expansion of street lighting network has been awarded. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
Let's now make a quick stop in Lagos, where Jennifer is standing by with more stories on Nationwide. It's over to you, Jennifer.
Tessie, and welcome to Lagos. The Nigerian Army has redefined training of its personnel to combat current security challenges that demand complex asymmetric offenses. The plan of action was contained in a message by the Chief of Army Staff to the graduating officers of Course 15-2018 of the Nigerian Army College of Logistics in Lagos. Lynn Leneke has details.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukru Buratai, who was represented by the Chief of Policy and Planning, stressed the importance of training in the military. He said in order to function effectively, combat force and development of competence for military operations must be prioritized.
Specifically, the establishment of the Army War College Nigeria and the Special Forces School, among others, come to mind. As we tackle the various security challenges confronting the nation, our training regimes must continuously evolve to address the emerging threat environment.
The Commandant, Nigerian Army College of Logistics, Major General Richard Duru, charged the officers to build on the basis of their professional foundation from the college by aligning with the new strategies.
There is no doubt that the students who are graduating today are well equipped to cope with the challenges that would likely confront them in future. They have been adequately prepared to hold logistics appointments in their respective course.
The graduating officers were subsequently decorated with past logistics staff course crest and inducted as members of the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria. 24 officers participated in the 7 months intensive training. They have been equipped with skills to plan and execute logistics support for the Nigerian Army in joint and combined operations using modern management concepts and techniques. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Now, over 10 people who specialize in adulterating petroleum products have been apprehended by the Department of Petroleum Resources in collaboration with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Lagos. Thomas Ogbetire reports that about 5 centers where these illegal activities are being perpetrated were sealed up.
The illegal depot located at Ethel Avenue off Kudirat Abiola in Oregun, Lagos. The head of Retail Outlet, Lagos Zonal Office of the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPRO, Atilola Akiemi, and the Deputy Commandant in charge of operations of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Mohammed Usman Waksha, said such illegal activities very close to residential areas and companies could result to a disastrous fire explosion within the twinkle of an eye.
These are very illegal. It will spoil every engine that uses this type of product. There will be breakdown of machines. And unfortunately, many of these people that patronize them doesn't know that they are patronizing adulterated products.
We are sounding a warning to all those that are doing this, that Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps are having a very good integrity, uncompromising, and reliable. And they should desist from these activities because we will get onto them anytime.
10 people were apprehended in the course of the joint operations carried out by the DPRO and NSCDC. Members of the public were advised to report such illegal activities in their neighborhood to relevant authorities. In Lagos, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Operators of both public and private organizations have been urged to take up more development projects as part of their corporate social responsibility to improve the well-being of Nigerians. This was the thrust of a lecture delivered by Director Special Duties, NIMASA, Hajia Lami Tumaka, at the 2018 Women in Logistics and Transport Day in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakboya has details.
Gathered in this hall are women who have created careers and made impact in the logistics and transport sector. The topic of discourse at the forum is corporate social responsibility. Using the degradation in the Niger Delta region and the Apapa congestion in Lagos as point of reference, guest speaker and director of special duties NIMASA, Hajia Lami Tumaka, said the unrest and sufferings could have been prevented if organizations operating in the areas were committed to corporate social responsibility.
We should be more involved in looking after our environment, Look at what is happening in Apapa, for instance. And at Apapa, you have Shippers Council, you have Ports Authority, you have NTA, you have Customs. We could come together and at least alleviate the problem that is Apapa today.
She charged organizations across the country to make corporate social responsibility a priority and engage in projects that are sustainable.
Government cannot do everything, to be frank. So we need to come out as corporate organizations. We need to come out even as individuals in order to give back to the society.
If I do something, take some kids off the street, I'm reducing criminality, either now or in future. So what does that give me? A cleaner, safer environment.
Participants at the lecture say individuals should also contribute their quota by helping those in need around them. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakpuya, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos at this hour. We now join Kemi in Ibadan for stories making the round from that zone. Kemi, it's over to you.
Much, Jennifer, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. Efforts to curb the sale of unethical drugs by patent medicine stores and unauthorized drug outlets have been intensified in Oyo State. In line with this, some of such stores have been sealed up in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, by enforcement agencies. Busola Aworu has the rest of the reports.
In recent times, many patent stores have sprung up in various cities. However, the abuse of drug and sales of unethical drugs, particularly to youth, is becoming worrisome. Many of such patent stores are not registered, while some are not in hygienic condition.
So it's our duty to ensure that drugs that are consumed by Nigerians are kept in proper condition.
Some areas within Ibadan metropolis, noted for such practice, were visited. One of the patent store owners was caught in the act.
Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse?
I'm aware there are some drugs.
But you didn't sell them before. Since. But they don't tell us not to sell it again. We stop it. A way of showing the awareness that they are not supposed to sell these drugs, and the ones that we have gotten today, we have seized all of them, and they will be transferred to NAFTA.
These people that are arrested today will be fined based on the offense committed.
With constant raid, many of the patent stores will be repositioned to doing the needful. In Ibadan, Busola Uwuru, NTA News.
As the Nigerian police looks into the unwholesome activities of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, there are more suggestions on how to ensure a standard operational procedure in line of their duty. This is coming against the backdrop of allegations of human rights violation and other forms of abuses leveled against the unit. Mohammed Adebowale was at the interactive seminar for officers of the squad in Abeokuta.
The interactive forum with a theme FSAS between combating crime and protection of human rights is to reorientate men and officers of the Nigerian Police Special Anti-Robbery Squad to discharge their duties within the confines of law and respect for human rights, as well as acquaint them with modern-day policing. Guest speakers at the forum advocated the organization of the entire architecture of the unit for better service delivery as true friends of the people.
The Constitution, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, have emboldened our people to demand for their human rights. No suspect is to be tortured in Nigeria.
We must, as a matter of urgency, restore the confidence of the citizens in the police force.
The Commissioner of Police Ogun State Command, Ahmed Ilyasu, exclaimed that the seminar has become imperative in view of the heightened political activities in the state.
Today's engagement with all the civil liberties organizations, it shows to you that we are willing to reposition reorganize the SARS.
The seminar was put together by the Nigerian Police Force and Police Community Relations Committee. In Abuja, Mohammed Adebowale, NTA News.
Enhancing professionalism to upscale NTA News from the Southwest in its contribution to the network service was the basis for the NTA Ibadan Network Center News Directorate Zonal meeting. Grace Bamidele reports that it was a platform to expose staff to the dynamic nature of news reportage.
The meeting was organized to discuss ways to improving on the operations of the News Directorate. The Zonal Director, Jennifer Famusikpe, says the center is keying into the innovations of the headquarters.
Those reporters to know what is expected of them, how to deliver the news, and how to be dispassionate when they're reporting any events.
Officers in charge and news reporters of community stations within the Ibadan zone learned the conditions necessary for quality reportage and editorials.
Opportunity for us to rub minds together to look at what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, and what we can also do to improve on our previous assignments.
Add more to their knowledge, what is requested of us as professionals, and how we can go about it without being biased in any way.
The essence of this lecture is to keep the reporters to be objective while they are carrying out their activities.
The meeting was also an avenue to discuss the challenges with a view to solving them for effective news delivery in the different stations of the zone. In Ibadan, Grace Bamdele, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Ibadan. It's back to Tess in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Kemi, and welcome back to Abuja. Moving on, an induction program to inculcate the right attitude, responsibilities, and better understanding of corporate governance for efficiency in the public service is being organized for the governing boards, commissions, and agencies. It is at the instance of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation holding in Abuja. Usman Aliu brings us details.
What to do, when to do, and how to do it best are some of the challenges of the persons appointed to hold public office at a time like this when Nigeria is striving to achieve and promote good governance. That is what the Bureau of Public Sector Reform, in collaboration with the Department for International Development, hope to achieve at this induction program. Here, issues of concern, especially those capable of creating misunderstanding over roles and functions of offices, the executive and boards are clarified.
I have observed in recent past with concern divergent interpretations of the role federal governing boards of federal parastatals are expected to play in the corporate governance of their organizations. Interferences in the function of office of the chief executive, issuing directives to staff without recourse to the chief executive officer, thereby creating disharmony amongst personnel.
Let us, as a matter of urgency, rebuild mutual trust and confidence amongst all parties concerned for enhanced, efficient service delivery to Nigerians.
The overall objective is to enable governing board members gain an understanding of their roles, key responsibilities, behavior required of them in their organizations.
It is expected that this forum will provide the platform for a better understanding for enhanced service delivery and integrity in corporate governance. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
To achieve the economic recovery and growth plan of the federal government, the development of the Niger Delta region is central, and all hands are gradually gathering momentum to realize the vision. This explains why critical stakeholders and implementing agencies are in Umuahia, Abia State, for the 3rd National Council on Niger Delta, from where Joseph Johnson reports.
Development in the Niger Delta region, despite huge investments in the past years, does not appear to show true reflection, and these stakeholders are analyzing the lingering impediments using this platform, the National Council on Niger Delta. Dr. Emmanuel Akbanabong is a representative of PANDEF, and he was at the first and second councils in Akwa Ibom and Ondo states. He believes that it is a veritable forum for synergy, but not without some encumbrances.
If we want development, there should be peace. For that reason, let us give a trial. Let us give government a chance. Let us give the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs a chance to deliver these things. But we are also telling government that, look, this peace initiative cannot be guaranteed if nothing tangible is seen.
For the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Uguru Usani, new challenges are emerging, and a review of the Niger Delta Development Master Plan has become necessary.
The demands are mounting higher because the demographics are increasing. Economic resources are also decreasing. There is need to solicit understanding of people of the region, such that agitation in violent methods will not help us.
The National Council, which is an annual event, also serves as the highest advisory body to the government on issues, policies and programs aimed at creating a sustainable framework for the development of the Niger Delta region. But it is the hope of Nigerians that at the end of the day, the fresh ideas and recommendations gotten from this august gathering would not just be written on papers, but will be given life to and made tangible. From Umuahia, Abia State Capital, Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll be right back with more reports after this break. Stay with us.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multi-purpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
كذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا.
The Community College of Arabic and Islamic Studies, Daura, Katsina State, cordially invites the general public to its 20th anniversary convocation ceremony and appeal for donation. Special guest of honor, Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, Governor Katsina State, Chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Sani Zango Daura, Masanin Daura, Guest of honor, Alhaji Dr. Umar Faruk Umar, Emir of Daura, Chief Launcher, Aliko Dangote, Chairman, Dangote Group of Company, Date, Saturday, 28th July 2018. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Venue, Community College of Arabic and Islamic Studies along Kano Road, Daura. Announcer, Management.
إن الله لا يحب المعتدين.
It's game on at North Taste Quest 5. Get your kitchen weapons ready. Get your skills warmed up because in this game, the seasoned warrior wins. Get ready for North Taste Quest 5, the special anniversary season, showing on DSTV Africa Magic Family and GoTV Africa Magic on Sundays at 7 p.m. and 6 p.m. on NTA and AIT. North Taste Quest, Battle of Flavors.
It's good to know you're still there with us. The federal government has indicated its preparedness to renovate all primary schools in Katagum, Emirate Council, Bauchi State to boost teaching and learning. A statement by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Education, says the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, while hosting the Emir of Katagum, Alhaji Umar Farouk, in Abuja, underscored the importance of primary education as the bedrock on which all other educational institutions are built. He therefore directed the Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Amuka, to drive the process to ensure that the modernization project is effectively carried out. The ministry also pledges continuous support to traditional institutions in the country and notes that efforts will be geared towards giving a facelift to primary schools in Katagum. Nigeria stands to benefit positively if individuals are given opportunity to harness their potentials. That forms the nucleus of the lecture delivered by Professor Fatih Shuaibu during the 19th inaugural lecture series of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. Agatha Joseph Obioha has details.
The audience are held spellbound as the inaugural lecturer, Professor Fatih Shuaibu, expresses her academic intellect, which centers on the need for students to be given maximum freedom to express themselves academically. That, she says, will make them flourish in different fields of human endeavor.
We are so much interested in oil. But I'm happy that the present government is thinking about diversifying into agriculture, which we are doing. And I emphasize that if the few creative students we have, their talents are tapped, they could be very useful in that area.
It's a commitment of the professors that they are willing to showcase what made them professors.
And I'm so happy about the encomia poured on her for her academic work.
The theme of the lecture is Beyond Intelligence and Convergence, Rethinking the Management of the Potentially Creative. From Kefi, Agatha Joseph Obioha, NTA News.
And Nigeria is to key into the over $40 billion global honey market, as European Union is set to certify Nigerian honey for its commodity market. Minister of Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, says the federal government will provide enabling environment for the production and marketing of honey in the country. Musa Baba Aliu tells us more.
Global honey business as at January this year stood at over $450 billion, with global output of about 2 million tons annually. Nigeria is not a key player in honey business, in spite of the potential the country has for commercial beekeeping in all the 36 states of the country. The major concerns of the Minister of Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, are how the international organizations will support Nigeria to boost her honey production for local and international market.
The beauty here is that Nigerians have responded very well, particularly young people who are showing amazing enthusiasm for agriculture, so we need to support them. We need to find cheaper funding for agri. It's a major challenge.
There are pledges by key players in the honey value chain to support Nigeria, though with caution that honey production must meet the international requirement.
The most important requirement is to submit a residue monitoring plan, which guarantees that there is a competent authority in charge of drafting the plan and ensuring its implementation. The plan must ensure that honey is regularly tested in approved laboratories.
Nigeria is currently producing and exporting an estimated 15,000 tons of honey annually, mostly to West African countries. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's potential for revenue generation can be further strengthened if more attention is given to facilities in the sector. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria who explained the country's ability to make huge revenue from the industry described honey production as lucrative.
What we are trying to change by bringing this event so that they can see that if they do things correctly, then their products will be marketable, not just within Nigeria, but also in the international market.
So the 1 kg is about 3,000 naira. And 3,000 naira times 34 kg, that's about 120,000 naira that you make out of a 12,000 naira investment. So you find out that it's very lucrative. So if you want to really now get into the commercial part of it, you invest more into it, and your payback time is less than 2 years.
The practitioners, but also the general public. It's important for people to know. But the second thing is this. For those who are practicing, one way to do it is to fence off the farm. We call that farm an apiary.
Need for government involvement in the commercialization process, training of honey farmers, and the provision of raw materials for intending producers. Sarafina Okon reports that they also had safety tips for consumers. And Makudi is next on our lineup with Susan to guide us through reports from that zone. It's over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Tessie, and welcome to Makudi. Governor Samuel Otom has pledged the readiness of the Benue State government to continue to contribute to programs that will benefit the rural poor. The governor stated this in Makudi at the official disbursement of checks to benefiting communities from the Community and Social Development Program. Correspondent Bem Hanya reports that the 11 communities are spread across 6 local government areas of the state.
The Benue State government was lagging behind in the payment of counterpart fund for various projects. The administration therefore took a 5.5 billion to pay the backlog of the state's share of counterpart fund. It is on the strength of these that the rural communities in Benue State have benefited from the 2016 Community and Social Development Program in Obi, Buruku, Ukum, Apa, Ohimini, and Guma local government areas. While distributing the checks to the benefiting communities, Governor Samuel Otom said he is committed to fighting poverty.
We are equally committed to partnering with donor agencies which had hitherto decided the state on account of non-payment of counterpart funding. We hope that our sustained support to international donor agencies will accelerate the achievement to meet our social contract with the people of Benue State.
Responding on behalf of the benefiting communities, Andrew Ikuje pledged their commitment to ensuring that the money is judiciously applied. The projects to be captured in this program include infrastructure such as schools, roads, hospitals, and so on. In Makudi, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions has inspected facilities at the Federal Medical Center, Jalingo, as part of its oversight functions. The committee's visit is to ascertain the level of implementation of the 2016-2017 budgetary allocation to the center. Reports.
The House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions, led by the Deputy Chairman Muhammad Umar Jugal, is inspecting facilities at the Federal Medical Center, Jalingo, as part of its oversight function to ascertain whether or not the 2016-2017 budgetary provision for the hospital were properly implemented. Among the structures inspected by the committee were the maternity and amenity wards. The team leader, Umar Jugal, expressed satisfaction with what they saw, particularly in the areas of infrastructure. He challenged the management of the health facility to do more, especially by completing all the ongoing construction work before once.
From what we have seen is commendable, and by going around also we have seen there's much improvement in the infrastructure. The hospital, the paramedical center has improved drastically from what it used to be.
According to Muhammad Umar Jigal, the Federal Medical Center Jalingo, which is the only center in northeastern Nigeria that is handling Lassa fever cases, is playing a significant role in the area of health service delivery. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound Oten, NTA News.
Just a few months ago, some food items were in short supply in Makurdi, resulting in their prices. However, there are now observable increases in the supply of these food items. Consumers of fresh farm produce are enjoying relief in prices of these goods.
A visit to Makurdi main market, Wadata, and the railway market, both in the metropolis, shows the surplus supply of fresh farm produce in heaps, trucks, and stores. Buyers express satisfaction with the drop in prices of fresh farm produce, but are quick to add that they are discouraged due to financial instability. At the Wadata market, trucks offload sacks of onions, which the traders said were brought from the northern part of the country.
The people that come by plenty, market the good way.
A basket of tomato and pepper, which were sold for 8,000 naira 2 months ago, now go for 3,500 and 5,000 naira respectively. Pado Tena, who is a dealer in vegetables, says she brings her produce from Boko and sells 250 naira per basket as against 500 naira a few months back.
People they come by, well, even today, man, market today, at the sale and sasha. Last week on was higher, but this week on comes down.
Fresh okra, granules, and garden eggs are not left out as there are surplus in the market and at very affordable prices. Some sellers said, although the produce are cheaper and fresher now, patronage is still low. They are happy that nature is smiling at them again. In Makurdi, Serisiagu, NTA News.
And that does it from Makurdi. It's now time for us to join Asmao in Sokoto for more reports.
Thank you, Susan. Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. In the wake of persistent armed banditry in Zamfara State, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, says more troops will be deployed as reinforcement to those already in the state. The Chief of Air Staff, who was in Zamfara State on a one-day working visit, disclosed this when he paid a courtesy call on the state acting governor, Ibrahim Wakala Muhammad, at the government house. Haliru Muhammad Umar has more.
Zamfara State has been in the forefront in terms of armed banditry, cattle rustling and kidnappings. No fewer than 2,000 innocent people were killed within this year, and property worth millions of naira were destroyed. However, with the deployment of the troops of air staff, a lot of achievements have been recorded, as many bandits have been killed and dozens of them were apprehended by the soldiers and police in the state. Just recently, the suspected son of the late notorious armed bandits, Buharin Daji, was arrested following exchange of fire between the bandits and the police. Speaking at the government house, Gusau, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar explained that more equipment are to be provided to the state to further face the current security challenges.
And I've also directed that air assets be moved from some of the conflict zones to Zamfara immediately.
Responding, the state acting governor Malam Ibrahim Wakala Muhammad, who is also the state deputy governor, applauded the stride of personnel for towards arresting the banditry activities. Malam Wakala expressed the determination of the state government to accord ever necessary support and assistance to the security personnel to address the situation.
For always ready to cooperate to react with you in everything that you may need in
carry out your duty.
The Chief of Air Staff was in Zamfara to assess facilities on ground at the Gusau Air Force Base. In Gusau, Halil Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
Chairman Sokoto State Consultative Committee on Education and Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has reiterated the committee's commitment of judicious utilization of the committee's resources. The Sultan gave the assurance at a formal signing of contract agreement for construction of 6 classrooms, each in 6 districts of the state as pilot scheme. Sheikh Muhammad Deti has more.
The 6 districts to benefit from the pilot program include Danchadi, Dandimbahe, Araba, Ongwa Lalle, Gagi, and Katami. Each district is to benefit with 15 classrooms, including administrative block and laboratories. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar said the committee engaged Naval Holdings for the construction because of their expertise in executing quality projects. The Sultan expressed optimism that going by the track record of the Naval firm, quality job definitely will be expected. Managing Director of the Naval Holdings, Rear Admiral Shogun Adebari, thanked the Sultan for the confidence reposed in them. He assured of doing their best in the execution of the project, adding that they will not fail the people of Sokoto State. Rear Admiral Shogun Adebami pledged to complete the project in less than 3 months.
We hope that at the end of the first wave of this construction, we will continue to be the company of choice for such construction, particularly with the compressed air block technology which we are going to deploy during this project.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Science and Technology, Abakar Muhammad Giradawa, said the committee has earmarked over 161 million naira for the pilot project, and 15% down payment will be made to the construction firm. The contract agreement was signed amidst development partners in the education sector. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
And that does it from Sokoto. Is back to Tessie in Abuja for more on the news. Good afternoon. Thank you, Asma, and welcome back to Abuja. Let's take a quick break now. Nationwide continues in a moment.
Much ado about jollof rice, you may say. But is the ado really about food?
I think this debate is way beyond food.
Nigerians marry Ghanaians, and we have them as bosom friends, and vice versa. So, what is food to put asunder this great neighborly tie between the proximate English-speaking countries?
Flash, she will go back to her flower, and you will come back, crawling to me like a puppy beaten by a rain, and your tail in between your legs.
Professor John Bull investigates. Join us in this week's episode titled Nigeria Jollof and Ghana Jollof, and find out the real taste of the dish and who cooks it better.
It is Nje that win because our jollof rice is very good. So Nigerian jollof rice win.
How were you able to distinguish between these two plates, which was Ghanaian jollof rice and Nigerian jollof rice? Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow,
the largest data network. Glow Unlimited.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
The house they were living, it was given a quit notice because they could not pay the rent again.
Yeah, thank you, I'm fine. Hello! Hey!
You get one thing where they put for Yamodina restaurant shop. The food be good there. So what make you help us clear out?
Let the fire of the Lord come down.
Get the devil. I'm only his servant.
Pastor, I know how much will it cost because
Salvation. Astaghfirullah. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Amen. Abba. For how long this thing go take? Until I finish counting my destiny. Ogure. Oguabenugongo. This is leprosy. Hey! Oga, I beg now. Ebeni pelepe, asasini palasasi. Barigi segi ba iori ara re ni biru. What this thing come up for my restaurant? That one no be one.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thanks for staying with us. A work on creating awareness about the challenges of persons living with disability in the society has been organized by Juremi Foundation, a non-governmental organization in Abuja. Persons living with disability were all out to depict the saying that there is ability in disability. Sefia Nomauchi reports.
The work, which began from the Eagle Square, Abuja, ran through to the Unity Fountain. Most of the participants who were persons with disabilities, organizers of the event, Juremi Foundation, a non-governmental organization, says it is passionate about the plight of the persons with disabilities in society and wants the National Assembly to pass into law the bill on persons with disabilities for them to be given opportunities to be fully enrolled into work organizations.
They are showing that they understand that the people with disability lives amongst them.
A lot of people in the community come together and give them as much as we can to teach them skills and then to develop them also so they can give back to the society as well and not to be dependent just on like begging and the government.
We try as much as possible to create awareness so that the people in
Arrangements have been concluded for Muslim pilgrims to begin movement to Mecca from Medina on Saturday. Musa Abubakar reports that Nasarawa State pilgrims have also arrived Medina for the exercise.
After going through all the necessary process of documentation and entertaining the thought of what it feels to be a pilgrim, the dream is finally here for these pilgrims from Nasarawa State. The pilgrims arrived in Jeddah International Airport and immediately proceeded to Medina. The Narcon team welcomed the August visitors, where they took them to their hotels. Meanwhile, the first batch have settled for temporary life in Medina, where they are all accommodated.
This environment is very conducive for us, and as we are here, we are enjoying the environment. Our mosque is very close to the hostel that we are.
Fine. They give us food. We have breakfast and dinner, and alhamdulillah.
The apartments, the parlor, we have enough. The toilet, they are okay. Kitchen, all of that things are very okay. We are very conducive, in short, very, very convenient.
The visit to Medina offers pilgrims the rewarding opportunity to pray in the Prophet's mosque and visit his tomb, as well as his companions. The city of Mecca is next, where pilgrims will perform the Umrah and Hajj, as more pilgrims are scheduled to be received in days to come. From Medina in Saudi Arabia, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Next is sports updates with Ayodeji Makinde.